playing a very macabre game here in the Riverside Institute. The book projected Pierce into the body. Don't worry if you don't know what any of this means. The book projected Pierce into the body of Dr. Colden. The detective watched helplessly as Bradley's friend carried out her inquiry. Confronted with the experiments of Fuller, she got into his office and discovered that the director of the Riverside Institute was hiding information on, if not the body of, Sarah Hawkins. But she was discovered by Fuller. Pierce must save her before it's too late. So the story so far. We are Detective Pierce. We're a private investigator. I guess we're not officially a detective. We're acting as a detective. For the father of Sarah Hawkins, whose daughter, Sarah Hawkins, apparently died in a fire along with the rest of her family, a husband and a son. She lived on the island of Darkwater, or as the locals call it, Darkwater. Her husband, whose name escapes me, we'll call him Mr. Hawkins, was owns a warehouse and did a lot of traveling, was very interested in travel. Sarah Hawkins, however, is an artist, a painter, in fact. Famous for some very macabre, as they say in Darkwater, paintings. Yes, Charles Hawkins, that's right. So she paints very horrible, terrifying things. And her dad, after her death, receives one of these paintings in the mail, along with the address to a warehouse owned by the Hawkins. And believes that somehow this is an indication that Sarah's death is not, in fact, Sarah's cause of death was not, in fact, an accidental fire, but that something else was going on. So he hires us, Pierce, to investigate. Pierce makes his way to Darkwater, where he discovers that things are not as they may first appear. The dreary island has many strange inhabitants. We've met Kat, the local bootlegger and trader of all sorts of things. She deals in art. She's one of the few people who can get things on and off the island. The other is the captain who brought us to the island, whose name also escapes me. Let's see, what else? Island legend tells the island's economy used to be based around whaling, but slowly over time the whales became fewer. It was slim pickings out in the Darkwater waters, until one day they had the magnificent catch, the miraculous catch. That's what it was. When a huge sea behemoth was hunted down and hauled aboard a ship whose name also escapes me. And they brought it back, and everyone on the island feasted, and it allowed them to survive. Now, descriptions of the beast range from the largest whale you've ever seen to something a little more eldritch in nature. Since then, all whaling has ceased on the island, and their only means of income is by trading, and apparently also medical research. There is a hospital on the island with an asylum in its basement run by Dr. Fuller, who seems to be experimenting on patients, some of them beginning to turn into sort of tentacle monsters. Back to the Hawkins. When Pierce investigated the Hawkins mansion, he found, in fact, signs of a struggle, and that the fire might not have been so accidental. Perhaps accidental, but caused during a fight between Charles and Sarah Hawkins. He also found signs that while their son almost definitively perished in the fire, at least one person Charles Hawkins may have escaped. Following the clues, we went into the caves beneath the Hawkins mansion, where we discovered large caverns full of occult sculptures and scriptures and cultists. They were performing some sort of ritual, which was interrupted by Pierce and local police Captain Bradley. Bradley was apparently killed by the lead cultist, who pulled back his hood, or rather had his hood shot off, to reveal that he was in fact a horribly mutated Charles Hawkins. One arm now turned into many tentacles, face pustuled and suckered. And he kills Bradley and causes a cave-in that crushes Pierce and traps us just as we're about to get out of the caves. Pierce then has brief glimpses of himself coming to at the local hospital, and eventually is able to just pop up and walk around. After only days from sustaining injuries that should have ended his life, or certainly destroyed one of his legs, we feel great. We're totally fine. We're healed. And when we reunite when we make our way back to the Hawkins mansion, we find that, in fact, Bradley is totally alive, although he has no memory of the caves beneath the Hawkins mansion. We are now working with Dr. Colden, an underling of Dr. Fuller, who believes that some weird stuff is going on at the hospital. And although they don't fully believe my stories, Pierce's stories, of what I saw beneath the mansion, they are at least willing to help me continue my investigation. Pierce went to a local bookstore after... hold on, there's more. So we went to investigate. There's a guy that we met while we were in the hospital who had gouged out his own eyes, and I guess I should be big for all this, who had gouged out his own eyes and kept talking about that it's coming for him. It sees me. Don't look at it or it'll see you too. It's the Shambler. Ah! And then he dies in front of us by getting lifted up by an invisible force and thrown around and neck snapped and dropped to the floor. And so we're like, oh, that's fucking crazy. So we go to talk to that man's widow. And it turns out he was an art collector. And that the Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins. Now, Sarah Hawkins initially refused to sell the painting to this man. And after speaking with his widow and making our way through his art gallery, we ourselves find the very painting, the titular Shambler. And upon looking at it, we are thrown into an eldritch nightmare as the creature depicted within the painting claws its way out from the canvas and into our own reality. And then, playing the dumbest boss fight ever devised, Pierce finds the one dagger in a room full of daggers, capable of piercing the canvas and sending the Shambler back from whence it came. But it's seen us now, and I suspect it will continue to hunt us. Let's see. Shambler. Then, after the Shambler, we meet up with Colden and them. They don't believe our story about the Shambler. They don't believe our story about the caves under the mansion, but they are willing to help us continue our investigation of Sarah Hawkins. Right. While talking about the Shambler, we get recommended the bookstore, because this guy might know... this guy might know about the dagger that we used to send the Shambler back with. I did, but look, I'm not trying to... even knowing that in the Shambler fight, there was a drawing of the correct dagger behind the painting of the Shambler, that's even dumber to me. And here's why. I know that we were doing the recap, but y'all asked for it in chat, so here it comes. It's even dumber because it's a first-person game, right? I am supposed to feel like I am Pierce, right? I am playing the role. So if I were walking through this art gallery, right, and then in front of me is the Shambler, right, the painting, and behind it is the answer for how to defeat it. How the fuck am I supposed to get behind it and look at the answer without looking at the painting? If you look at the painting, you don't know it's the Shambler until you look at it, because you have to visually identify it before. Otherwise, any painting could be the Shambler, right? But once you look at it, ideally, the Shambler's supposed to come out. Now, realistically, it would be impossible for a person to either deduce that it was the Shambler and try to investigate it without looking at it. Or in a gamey sense, why is it that I have to go up and interact with it in order to have it count as looking? You know? I get, because that's an easier trigger to program than figuring out where my camera is looking and determine that I, the player, have seen what Pierce, the character, has seen on the screen. But either way. Now, what I would have liked is if initially, when going around the art gallery, and not behind or related to the Shambler, but in the cases, I would have liked if the daggers, because the daggers were all displayed with like a dagger and then like a couple other artifacts next to it. If perhaps the case with the dagger had like some Shambler shit around it, you know, either a depiction of the Shambler, a sketch of it, or maybe a book next to it called like Sealing Away Horrors from Beyond, or, you know, just some neat little indicator that this is a great dagger for any occultist wishing to banish a creature from beyond. I still would have missed that clue, but that at least is the sort of clue I could appreciate. Not just the answer written on the back of the test. Not a fan. Anyway, back to the recap. Dr. Colden. Oh, we go to the bookstore. That's right. We go to the bookstore to learn more about the dagger. Bookstore owner isn't there. We piece together some clues and we find that there's a safe. And through some occult visions, we learn that Charles Hawkins attempted to break into the safe but couldn't. He was repelled by the Elder Sign scrawled upon it. Opening the safe, we find a book, the Necronomicon. We open it up, and our mind is flung through some brain portal into the body of Dr. Colden, and we're watching through her eyes as if watching a movie. As Dr. Colden investigates on her own at the hospital where she works, and she finds some disturbing things and begins to investigate Dr. Fuller. She knows something's up. She finds evidence that weird tentacle shit is going on, not the good kind, and that Fuller is involved in unethical experimentation upon the hospital patients, and perhaps also has information, if not the body, of Sarah Hawkins stored at the hospital. She goes to confront Fuller, and Fuller like knocks her out and drugs her and stuff. We then return to our body, Pierce, and are like, oh, what the fuck? And the book guy's there, and he's like, what did you see? And we're like, I saw this shit. And the book guy's like, you're gonna need my help if it's occult stuff. And we're like, fine. Help me out. And then we hit this load screen. That's the game so far. We're 45 minutes into the stream. Let's get started. So we are now breaking into the hospital late at night.
I pray that Colden is really here and alive.
Oh, diary, the original volume, the diary of Reverend Wickwood's wife. Her husband John built the first Hawkins home, called Hilltop, at the end of the 17th century. They were among the first white colonists of the island. The previous inhabitants disappeared mysteriously 3 centuries earlier. Oh, there's this puzzle.
The Scylla is here, like in the vision. Colden came this way. What the... Fuller, too.
Well, I just got an achievement for finding all of the sleeping pills in the game. So we will apparently encounter no more. Would you read the book? Oh, always I would read the book. Oh, and I have now gotten an achievement for reading all the books of unholy knowledge. This is a collection of catalogs that classifies creatures that I have never heard of. Divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as the reference work on the bestiary of myth. Bestiary. Sorry, I misplaced an A. Of myth, without giving details. Is it bestiary or it must be bestiary. I think I've always said beast. Because it's always about beasts. Anyway, it's a book of myth about creatures, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. I also always say beast. Okay, cool. I feel less... Bestiary is pronounced like best, not beast. Well, there you go. It's weird how that mental scaffolding happens in my head. I was like, well, it's about beasts, so it... And it has a lot of the same letters, so must be. Without giving details on the mythology to which it refers, its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. Yeah, there's the Shambler. There's the dagger. Boy, this would have been a fun book to have available before you fight the Shambler. Right? Like, oh, look. Oh, look. Alright, how's my occultism doing? Oh, we are an expert. We are now an expert.
What does that mean?
What do you mean, what does it mean?
Right. Enough time wasted. Colden needs me. I must find her.
Moreover, I don't know who he was opening up, but he seemed quite enthusiastic.
All these are going to be locked. Oh. The gas is in full effect. Yeah, they're all going to be locked. There you go. No! Oh, are you kidding?
My God. What is happening to me?
is happening to me? Okay, that's a portal. That's not a portal. Never too late to learn some medicine. I hope it's just playing those noises for atmospheric effect and I'm not, like, actually...
What was that?
about to be punished.
It's as if I'd been transported somewhere else.
Well, you... what? Oh, good. A puzzle. Okay.
What happened? Something has changed, but what?
Okay, I have two different lanterns. I have green lantern and I have red lantern. Very hard to see the little, like, interact icons in this light for some reason. Okay, so I'm here. Surely that book is not the only reason to come in. Oh, perhaps now that I've opened the door... Yes.
Awaken and free me.
I don't know about that. Can no longer swap out lanterns. Let's walk through here. Does it want me to go the other way? Oh, here's my lantern. This is bad, right? Like, I'm opening doors with protective symbols on them so that I can go through them in, like, the spooky realm. Is my hair scruffy today? Then yes, it's for cosplay. Oh, let me interact. Is there another door I'm supposed to open? Seems like there was another door I was supposed to open. Nope, I can't open it. I'll have to go through it. I'll have to switch lanterns and go through the portal, and then something will change. Excuse me?
Destiny. It has trapped you.
Fucking wall. This is trippy. Well, oh shit. Okay, don't run out of gas. At least we're not punished that severely. I don't know how to get out there, is the problem. Aha. Oh, that was it, wasn't it? Do I have to be sneakier, or is that just like a... tease? I think it was just a tease. I don't think I need to sneak. Yeah, I know. Turning up the brightness drains it really fast.
You are confronting powers that surpass you.
Shit. 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 Okay, there we go. Through here. Shit. Oh, I'm so fucked. Alright, that'll give me a bit of a refuel. And by a bit, I mean the whole way. Okay, this is the same, though. I'm gonna get stuck in the same place. Oh, right. Okay, I need to come here with the, I need to come here with the normal, come here with the normal lantern. Okay. Are we gas powered now? Yeah. Yeah, we're gas powered now. Or maybe we got gas. I don't know. We saw the Shambler. Is this in our head? Is it a product of the gas? Have forces beyond my control drawn me into an interdimensional realm? Right, with the Green Lantern, I can't get past seals, which means I might... Oh, fuck that. Fuck. Oh, fuck that. Fuck that so hard. Oh my god. Oh, I hated it. Oh, I opened the door and then I went the wrong way. Oh my god. Okay.
It looks like things are back to normal.
Yeah, back to normal. Jesus Christ. My heart rate isn't. All right.
What's going on? It never ends. Damnation. That's me.
Oh! That was good! Oh my god, that was good!
I got...
Whoa. Okay. So...
Pierce, I found her. I finally know what's going on. You must live and find the truth. It is already too late for me.
Colden? What's going on? Was it a hallucination?
Please take a seat and be quiet, Mr. Pierce. I'll be with you in a moment.
Stop whatever the hell you're doing and turn around now.
Oh no.
No, it can't be.
No! You son of a bitch! What did you do to her?
I wish I could have done more experiments on you, Mr. Pierce.
I said, what did you do to her?
You shouldn't be sorry for your friend. You should envy her.
Murderer! This madness must stop!
Oh, shit.
Colden?
Okay. Real quick. That was one of the best segments of this game I have played so far. And it was so good. But okay, yeah. The like run down the hall, he's like, it goes on forever, and then the first window you look in, you see yourself, and then you're like, oh, that's weird, and you turn around, and then there's a padded cell wall behind you, and then you turn back around, and you're in a padded cell, and there's no way out, and then after you panic for a little bit, eventually you turn around and, oh, there's a door, and then you go through the door, and then there's her, Colden, and she talks to you, and then she vanishes, and there's a door, and you go through the door, and you're back. That was so good. And if they can do that, why was the Shambler done so bad? Because that's exactly what I was talking about. Where I was like, well, maybe it's just easier to like program the Shambler as like an interact. Maybe the technology just isn't there for you to like look at the painting and have it happen. But you just showed me that it is. You did that section so well. So well. Just based on where I'm looking. Ugh. I'm not in control. It's a good thing there's always a lantern for us to pick up. Just get on a boat and leave. Just get on a boat and leave.
What in God's name? What did they do to you? Can you speak?
What is? Even she said, what is this? Something horrible is about to happen.
Sarah.
He gave him the gold and I the azure. I don't see him very often anymore. The green is stronger.
Are you feeling ill?
I'm...
The green is
Yeah,
stronger.
No.
Let's get you out of here.
It comes in my dreams. Our minds melt like colors on a palette.
Come with me.
It's is of the oldest green. A violent living, vibrant. A sea green, maybe. No. No.
Mrs. Hawkins, we must go before someone finds out.
Oh, but he will. He always knows these things when it's about me.
What? Okay, I could say who, I talked to him, or I have valid SAN, which I can only assume are sanity requirements.
I have seen the same color. It was not as vivid as you said.
A pale copy. A discarded spawn.
Do you know what it was? Tell me.
I can't. We should not call his name. Terrible, terrible consequences.
All right. Come with me.
He will know. He will find us.
One more reason to hurry.
Have I seen you before?
Can you walk?
Maybe.
Then let's go before your husband finds us. It was in your studio.
What?
You painted me. That's where you saw me.
Of course. The men in white are coming.
You mean the guards?
This way. Follow me.
You sound anxious, but... Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
By follow me... What? What? What was supposed to happen there?
It was in your studio.
What?
You painted me.
So she says,
That's
this
where you
way,
saw me.
follow me,
Of course.
then stops moving.
The men in white are coming.
You mean the guards?
This way. Follow me.
Yep. Follow me, stops moving. Then it throws me out in front of them.
Yeah. I got this. Okay.
Okay, it's meant to be a chase. They did that poorly. She should go out first, and then we should both get spotted. Okay. Yeesh.
Wait. The machine. It's the green. The decaying one.
The gas.
Yes. It's not good for living beings.
We don't have time for that.
I am not moving until the wrong is set right.
Damn it.
Yeah, damn your morals. Alright, well. Okay, how do we... If only I had a
I'd be
wrench.
better off finding a tool. Perfect.
Yes! Oh my god, is he gonna do it?
All right. That should do it. Let's move.
What? How did I just utilize that poker? Never mind. No time to think about it.
Puppet no more. You bastard!
You're my wife. My wife. You owe me obedience.
Leave her alone! We're leaving this crazy island.
You are going nowhere. Don't get between me and my wife.
Oh. Gross.
Edward! Nobody tells me what to do with my wife. How dare you?
Your body? No, wait, your spirit? Oh, your body.
No! Why should I let you take her away when I could snap your neck?
You're cold. They don't want me dead.
Why? Because you are the one destined to perform the call.
Your wife thinks so.
Fool. My desire to protect Sarah is stronger than their petty schemes.
You heard her.
No, detective. She is much, much more than a woman. She is the Oracle. Sarah has seen things, has made things you can't even begin to imagine. Would you still save her if I told you that she is even more dangerous than I am?
Why give me this option? Do, 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 do.
She needs help.
No. Sarah has been in the presence of the myth for too long. Even if she were to leave Darkwater, she would still hear his call. And the cult will always be here, waiting for her.
Then
But if it
we
doesn't
get
matter,
rid of
just
it.
make it part of the
Members.
cutscene.
You are out of your league, detective. They control the whole island. She will finally surrender to his power, and the world will fall with her.
Don't!
No one can escape the wheel of destiny, they say. But I will change it. I will save Sarah.
Yeah. I mean, this guy did survive getting shot in the head, so I imagine this is not fatal. Take the axe? Interesting. Okay. Unaffected by bullets. Axe will do it. The holy poker of Octopus Bane. Yeah, good thing it was there. Wow. Just like the dagger. If only there were some indication that it was actually eldritch slaying. After the death of Colden, Pierce, victim of hallucinations, advanced inside the Riverside Institute to the point of discovering Sarah Hawkins, alive, prisoner of Dr. Fuller. The last confrontation between Charles Hawkins and his wife has revealed that the man, under his monstrous appearance, tried to protect her from the influence of the myth. He warned Pierce. If Sarah succumbs to the lure of the occult, she will lose all free will, allowing the cult to bring its plan to fruition, summon an ancient and evil god. Henceforth, Pierce must know more about Sarah Hawkins' intentions and find a way to protect her.
No parent should have to bury their child, knowing it's me that put him there. The guilt will never go away.
I feel your pain.
I'll do anything to get him back. Anything.
I feel your pain.
My work was what lured me here in the first place. It began showing me things I never should have painted. Things Charles should never have seen.
What am I to you? I took care of you, saved you from your miserable life. You'll never find a man better than me. You owe me.
I owe you nothing. We'll leave now.
You're not going anywhere. You are mine.
This is gonna be ridiculous. Oh no. Huh.
Come on. It's over now.
Oh god. Huh. Alright, back at the mansion. How are we doing? Can't level that up. I have 9 character points. Master of Eloquence. I feel your pain.
Do I have a choice? Mr. Pierce, we were waiting for you.
Good. Sarah doesn't have much time.
What are you doing here?
Did you think I would let you confront the occult without supervision?
Do you remember I asked and you told me to help?
Bookworm like you.
Algernon,
Oh,
I need
wait.
to
How
talk
did
to
I spell
Mr.
my
Pierce.
title?
Very well, Sarah. I will be in Charles Hawkins' office.
Oh, God, it is. I fat fingered it. Thank you. I apprecate you.
You seem different.
Yes. When I woke up this morning, my mind was sharper. Cleaner. I can still hear the voice calling me. It is so
I
strong,
still hear voices.
so ancient. Enticing. Dangerous. I may never be able to escape his grip, but for now, I can keep it at bay. I know what I owe you, Mr. Pierce, but I can't come back to Boston with you.
You've been friends for a long time, hiding each other's secrets.
I trust him.
What are you planning to do?
I must find it and kill it. I am the only one who can end its slaughter.
No. No, you will come with me to Boston.
I owe you no obedience.
This isn't about what you want or don't want to do. You would risk destroying the world just because you can't face the consequences of your actions.
I am willing to atone for my sins.
No, you're just trying to erase all proof of the mistakes you've made.
I know what I have done. I will not rest until the creature is sent back to its dimension.
You can't give up, even knowing the stakes.
Yes, thank you.
Still, I won't let you go.
What?
You will stay here until I find a safe way to return to Boston.
That's ridiculous. Listen, Algernon knows of a way to protect me. Help him find what he seeks, and we may all survive this battle.
All right. I'll help you.
I love that having a drink affects my destiny. I like when games are early access from the standpoint of like, oh yes, I get to get my hands on it sooner. But as a streamer, I kind of hate it. I hate when stuff releases early access because you have to stream it right when it comes out, right? That's when like everyone cares about watching it and stuff. But the most fun I have playing it is when the game is done. You know, like Divinity Original Sin 2, I bought that early access, right? Or is that the one that was early access? Whichever Divinity was early access, I bought it and I played the starting area, and then like that was all there was. So I put it down and I waited until it came out, and then I played it then. And when I played it again, I was like, wow, I wish I had just started here. You know? So much time has passed. I have no connection to the character I originally made. I'm just going to start a new game anyway. And yeah. It just feels bad being forced to play the game. Like, to burn my first play of a thing on something unfinished. Just because, like, if I do it when the game's actually out, just straight up, less people will care about it. Where the fuck is Algernon? Oh, this is the kids' room. Sad room. That said, like, of course I'm excited to play it as soon as I can. But I would prefer they just release the full game sooner. And that they don't do early access. Oh yeah, here's where Charles knocked me over and shit. At least I assume it was Charles. Oh, this is a gorgeous room for a studio.
Was Sarah Hawkins telling the truth? What kind of ritual was she preparing?
Oh, see, I can figure it out now.
Was the painting of the Shambler displayed here? Mrs. Hawkins never told me why she was in possession of the Necronomicon. How did she survive her encounter with the Shambler? How did she react? Was she afraid? Charles Hawkins was ready to do anything to protect his wife.
Interesting. So did she summon it, or was she really trying to seal it away? Crusader Kings 3. Yes! Yes! Oh, so many good games coming out this year. Too many. Are you Algernon? No.
How are you, Bradley?
Ah, it's you, Pierce. I'm just worried about Marie. I mean, Dr. Colden. Have you had any news?
I'm so sorry, Bradley. I could do nothing to save her.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What happened?
I'm not sure what happened, but I found her body in the cellars of Riverside.
You sure that you've got nothing to do with it?
You're
She
asking...
hadn't tried to help you. She might still be alive.
11 months
I'm
pop
sorry.
champ Kylist Hart.
Truly.
It's a weird take.
It's that slug, Fuller. I
Yeah,
swear
there you
I'll
go.
shoot him. What do you say, Pierce? Are you with me?
Have no fear, Bradley. Dr. Fuller will not escape the clutches of destiny for long. Sooner or later, he will be judged for what he has done. You just need to have faith.
What are you talking about? What's this story of destiny?
Hey, what?
No,
Thank you
I'm
so
sorry.
much.
I'm
I
not
really
going away for
appreciate
some
it.
mystical intervention.
Hope you're doing
I'll
well.
take care of him. Myself.
We must do something for those who are still alive, Bradley. Sarah is still in danger as long as the cult is active. We need to see this through, otherwise Marie's death will have been in vain.
You're, the voice of reason, Pierce. As always.
All right, now where the fuck is Drake? He said he was going somewhere, and I forget where he said, and now I'm... Okay.
Seeing you again. Ah, it's you. I'm here for her, not you.
I don't care why you're here. Your usefulness is the only thing that matters.
Jesus.
How do we protect Mrs. Hawkins from the influence of the forces that claim her?
By following Charles Hawkins, that imbecile of a thief, of course.
What do you mean?
He found something. An amulet. The symbol engraved
The
on
key
it
of
could protect
Rylia.
Sarah.
Could?
Rilia?
We
I
are
never knew how to
dealing
say
with
it.
forces that by far surpass what your intellect can process. Feel free to ask me any question regarding the matters that exceed your grasp.
This creature, the Shambler, what is it?
It is a hunter. It travels from one dimension to another to hunt down its prey.
Francis Sanders was one of its victims. How could a creature like that end up in one of Mrs. Hawkins' paintings?
Sarah has an uncommon gift. A connection with entities that live beyond our reality. I doubt that she was aware at the time, but when she painted the picture in a certain way, she called it.
And now it remains in our reality.
Let us say that it uses the painting as a portal into our reality, and we make enticing prey for it.
That's why we must find a way of sending it back to where it came from permanently. The dagger with the strange sign. Was it you who sold it to Francis
Oh, we
Sanders?
finally asked.
If you are referring to the dagger of the ancients, then yes, it was me. Why?
Do you know what he intended to do with it?
Francis was primarily a collector of occult objects. He liked rare items such as the dagger. But I doubt he knew its purpose.
It allowed me to send the creature you call the Shambler back into the painting.
Fascinating. But I am afraid that this might only be short-lived.
You mean that thing could come back?
Yes, that is why I am looking for a more permanent solution.
It must never come back. What is the true nature of the Necronomicon?
Yes.
I see that you are interested in my precious book. It is the definitive book of knowledge of the occult, Mr. Pierce.
Ah,
written
yes,
by
the
Abdul
ancient
Al-Hassan.
dagger of marrying.
It is
Yeah.
the answer to many a question.
That is why it's so highly valued.
Yes, and even though it is a copy, given to me as a gift by Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University, the work
Miskatonic.
remains very powerful.
I understand better why you keep it in a safe.
Do you? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were like, why is the Necronomicon so important? And he goes like, because it's very important. Even as a copy. Super important. And then we're like, I understand now why you keep it in a safe.
A genius like you must have already found a way to get rid of this creature, yes?
I sense your sarcasm, but it does happen that, yes, I do have a solution. I think I can destroy it, but for that I must approach the creature, and to be able to do so, I need the key to Hrie.
Another one of your baubles.
It is no bauble, unbeliever. It is a very powerful protection, able to repel very ancient forces. Much more effective than your cult.
What does it look like?
It is a golden amulet, bearing very ancient inscriptions and an elder sign at its center. A star with an eye in the middle.
I've already seen that sign. Where can we find it?
Therein lies the problem. That foul thief Charles has hidden it somewhere.
In a chamber
found this
full
drawing
of similar
among his personal
amulets.
effects.
You must
I
find the
think that it has
correct
something to
amulet
do with the
while being
location of the
hunted by the Shambler.
I'll follow this lead. You continue searching.
That is what I intend to do. As for you, return here the second you find it. I don't want it to disappear again.
Sketch of a bust. Okay. Have you seen this man? Is it down here? Is it down here?
Damn it. The entrance to the tunnel has been buried following the cave-in. But at least I didn't dream it.
All right. Looking for a bust. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll burn it. You'll have to sketch it again. I have a feeling this is going to be in the studio. Because I remember there was a bust in there. Don't remember if it looked like this. It did not. Great. Where have I already seen it? Who? It's ridiculous. A chain of... Yes. Mansion scavenger hunt.
Honey, I did this really cute thing for Valentine's Day. I got you a piece of occult jewelry, but to find it, oh, this is the best part. To find it, there's a series of realistic sketches. Each one a clue to the next. The final one will lead you to your Valentine's Day surprise.
This is the amulet that Drake was looking for.
Okay, honestly, I spent way more time on the drawings than I should have, and I only made 2. Happy Valentine's Day.
All right. Back to Drake. Yeah, I really like that we cut away to show probably the end of the game briefly.
It's you again.
Just good storytelling.
I think I've found what we're looking for.
Let me see that. Yes, that's it. It's perfect. We are saved.
I must tell Mrs. Hawkins.
Yes, do that.
Okay. Where am I at level-wise here? I've got 5. So I could get a point. I could level up psychology. But do I care about psychology? Yeah. I think we do that.
I have it. It's a strange amulet. I hope it will protect you, considering that nothing will help you change your mind.
You must understand. I already went too far.
What have you seen that's so terrible you convinced yourself that you had to risk so much?
I can't tell you now.
This story is going to end badly.
Yes. Chief West is here with Sullivan.
What did I just say? What could you have seen that would
Take care of Sarah. I will deal with them.
Sure?
convince yourself?
All right.
I don't know. That just felt like a lot of layers on based in thought.
I've been hearing about you a lot lately. You seem to enjoy causing trouble.
Nice job, Chief. You got me. Great police work.
You can try to play smart with me all you want, Pierce. Witnesses have identified you as the one who set fire to Riverside.
Witnesses? How convenient. That's not the whole story, is it?
I don't care about your stories. Save them for the judge.
Okay, I mean technically correct.
You know, Us cops, we base our investigation on facts and testimonies. You might want to try that next time.
You bet I will.
Dude, got him. Haha, nice one, Pierce. With the help of Algernon Drake, Pierce has obtained an amulet that is supposed to protect Sarah Hawkins against the evil powers that covet her. The painter told him of her desire to track and kill the dimensional shambler in order to atone for her sins. Before Pierce could stop her, he was arrested by the police. I'm actually going to take a real quick, just 1 minute break right here. So here we go.
You know, I've heard a lot about you, Mr. Pierce.
All good, I hope.
It appears that you've been involved in a variety of misdemeanors since your arrival on Darkwater. Entering private property, twice. Aggression, insulting behavior, and to top it all...
Insulting behavior is a misdemeanor? Hey, have a good night, Ravager. Thanks for hanging out.
Listen, in my line of business, we are obliged to overstep certain limits.
We're not just talking about illegal surveillance. You were being accused of serious crimes.
There's nothing serious.
Rude behavior. Yeah.
And you've got no proof that I started the fire.
Don't you worry.
Oh yeah, drinking the alcohol.
You're going to waste time and effort on me, while terrible things are happening on this island.
Yeah? So what's going on that I don't know about?
The fire at the Hawkins mansion is just a tree hiding the forest. You contented yourself with the so-called proof that was given to you without asking yourself any other questions.
It may seem odd, but unlike you, we base our investigations on facts, not on vague theories.
And despite all that, you fail to see the truth.
The only truth that I see is that you're finally where you belong, degenerate.
Oh,
Come
I'm a
on,
degenerate.
I'll show you to your new residence. I'll be back later to ask you some questions. I hope that you'll make the right choice and confess to everything. It would be as unpleasant for you as it would be for me if I had to adopt more advanced questioning.
I have no doubt about that.
Good night, Mr. Pierce.
The Shambler's gonna show up, isn't it?
Mr. Pierce, the Truth Seeker. We meet at last.
Uh-oh.
Who's there?
It's raining. It's raining inside. Oh.
I am the one men named Leviathan. Not because of the scale of my terrestrial form, but as a reminder of the immensity of my knowledge, which I came to share with you, human.
Right.
Do not struggle. You will not be able to speak or escape my influence. I told you to behave. You are here to accept the knowledge and follow the path that leads to your freedom. This is an offer that the likes of you, particularly those with such rare
characteristics, like drinking.
The more you bend your human spirit to make it able to receive the truth, the closer you will come to embrace his power. Where is the Oracle, Truth Seeker? Would you like to see her? Where is the Oracle? Is she not the very object of your quest?
Accept the revelations. Here we go.
I'll let you see for yourself. But do not forget, your fate has already been written. Our paths shall cross again, Truth Seeker.
You know the risk, Sarah. If you happen to use your powers again, you may lose more than your life.
It is not about me, but innocent lives. I hope that your sources are reliable.
The bootleggers have the painting. If the dimensional shambler is to appear, he will do it here. The shambler! I knew it!
No! Not again!
Ooh, we're Sarah now.
Algernon, come back!
Nope. Okay. Fine, I'll go through the spooky door.
Where is Algernon? And the Shambler? No way back.
What? Why not?
How many are there?
Got some real echoey feet there, Sarah. Oh.
I'll never forgive myself for this painting.
I love seeing the points at which the writing and the voice acting don't align. There's been a couple times they've switched this for that. It's just interesting to pay attention to. There seems to be a lot of fuel scattered around this place. Oh, as well as a lot of spots to hide, which probably means we're gonna have to have another Shambler like of evade the Shambler sequence. Oh wait, I was just here. Can I lower this? I need to get all the way up. Ah, here we go.
sorry, old friend, but it's either you or me.
No! What are you... No! Open! Open up! Open this door! It's here.
Holy shit.
The beast is within our reach.
Are you sure you want to do it?
Let's go.
Quickly, come with me!
Okay.
How do we kill it?
The Shambler can open breaches between dimensions. He uses glyphs as anchors to stay in our world.
Then I must destroy these glyphs.
Exactly.
How can I find them?
I will make the glyphs visible so you can revoke them. By doing so, this zone will be protected by a barrier.
Perfect. Stay inside the shield.
I'll create the protective barrier. Get back inside it as soon as you sense the slightest danger.
Yep. Yep, here we
The
go.
first glyph must have appeared somewhere on the floor. Find that symbol, Sarah. It should react to the light if you use your lamp. The first glyph must have appeared somewhere on the floor.
Yeah, buddy.
How many are there?
Find that symbol, Sarah. It should react to the light if you use your lamp. The first glyph must have appeared somewhere on the floor.
Holy shit. Alright, let's go systematic. Here's the floor. We're gonna start back here. I'm not gonna go up or down any stairs. We're gonna check this floor.
Find that symbol, Sarah. It should react to the light if you use your lamp.
Another thrilling Shambler section. Alright, we're going down, just to check down here. Okay, it's not down there.
Find that symbol, Sarah. It should react to the light if you use your lamp.
This is the actual worst. This is the worst. This is the new worst.
I need some oil.
Oh.
The first glyph must have appeared somewhere on the floor.
going all the way up now.
Find that symbol, Sarah. It should react to the light if you use your
If
lamp.
this motherfucker doesn't shut up, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. That's actually what's gonna lower my sanity. Not Cthulhu. It's gonna be Algernon Drake. The symbol should have appeared somewhere on the floor.
The first glyph must have appeared somewhere.
Fuck! I don't know, dude. I give up. Oh my god.
The glyph. I can't move it. Is it acting against me?
The ritual is working. Don't worry. It's just until I ward it off. Oh no. The Wanderer is back.
Well, I'm out of... Fucker.
The second symbol has been revealed. You know what you have to do, Sarah.
It's on the floor. Above you. Okay, what did he say about the second one? Alright, well at least now we know what we're looking for.
The second glyph must have appeared. Let's press on.
Here's my guess about these symbols. They're going to be in places that make it tricky to run back to Algernon. Yep, there it is. Oh, I took the wrong way.
You startled me, my friend. I have the impression the Shambler is trying to anticipate our actions.
What do I do about that?
The symbol must be here somewhere. Look closely.
I know where it is,
That is what I'm
motherfucker.
doing.
Yeah, there you go, Sarah. You tell him. Okay, what's the quickest way down from here? I think it's back that way.
He's getting stronger and more aggressive. If he catches up with you, try blinding him.
Fuck! Okay.
Now is when matters get complicated. I must breach the barrier to ward off the creature. You have to lure it in front of me, Sarah. Do you understand? Once it goes after you, I need you to guide it towards me. He's getting stronger and more aggressive. If he catches up with you, try blinding him.
Okay.
Oh no. It's already here. Release me now. Algernon!
Done. Quickly, bring him towards me.
Let me go! Oh, Algernon. You huge piece of shit.
We need some oil.
Well done, Sarah. It's time we were done with this beat. Let's go, Sarah. It's over.
It's a good thing there's a can of oil right there.
I can hear him. He calls me.
Sarah! No!
Algernon, my old friend. It's too late.
You must resist! Please, don't!
I am greatly enjoying this game, Big Ben. It's been a blast. There've certainly been it has its highs, it has its lows, but overall, what a ride. I am certainly enjoying it overall. Sarah Hawkins, together with Algernon Drake, managed to permanently drive the Dimensional Shambler back at the end of a fierce battle. However, this feat of strength cost her what was left of her self-awareness. She has just succumbed to the call of the myth.
Sarah Hawkins. Why did she do it? Damn it.
Did our guest enjoy our hospitality?
Let me out of here.
I'm warning you, Pierce. I want a short and clear-cut confession. Do you admit your guilt in the case brought before you?
You don't have any idea what's happening on this damn island.
Chief West, we got a problem.
Yeah, no
Damn
shit.
it, not now. What is it this time?
Captain Fitzroy, Chief. Some guys have ransacked Roy's bar. They went berserk, attacked the patrons, smashed the place up. It's chaos.
This is only the beginning. Let me out.
Let's go take a look. Tell Sullivan and Marshall to keep this one nice and warm till I get back.
Are you stupid? Don't you understand? Those goddamn idiots.
Well, I guess I'll take a nap.
Truth Seeker. I find you again. As promised, I come back to reiterate the offer of truth. As your mind expands and finally understands the true nature of the world, your perceptions change. Are you ready to see your world and the ones that live in it as they truly are?
Great. Great. Let's see. Well, on the one hand, Cthulhu Ftagan, but sometimes, you know, Cthulhu Ftagan. Literally cannot click? Okay, there we go.
Follow
had to hit E. I had to hit E.
Survivors. I never would have thought you so naive. It's all your fault. You could have stopped this whole thing.
I also wonder if my response there matters.
The villagers. Me. We're all in danger, as long as you're alive.
I can't go to sleep. Or should I say nightmare? That pain in my chest as if I was being skewered.
You were!
Hurtless, cold, silence. Then I wake up in a hospital bed alive. That voice whispers in my mind. I keep hearing it, and I don't know how.
No, not Bradley! Don't take Officer Bradley.
Who are you, Truth Seeker? I may see you in my dreams. I still can't decide if you will be my doom or my liberation.
Oh, it's looking like doom.
It may have been written for both of us, but I will fight for what is right.
Dom, what happened?
Come, you'll want to hear what these two Egypts have to say.
Egypts.
This better be interesting.
Seems like someone decided to grant you your deepest wish.
A mutiny?
Worse. They killed Chief West.
What?
And left his body in one of our warehouses.
You're kidding.
They're all yours.
Which one of you is dumb enough to kill a cop and throw him on my doorstep?
We don't know nothing.
The dead body in my warehouse disagrees.
We swear, miss, it's not us.
I don't have time for this. Spill it.
We've got nothing to do with it.
I want to know everything about the corpse over there, or I swear you will meet the same end.
If we speak to you, we're dead. If we don't speak to you, we're dead. What? No! Listen, miss, we didn't see what happened, but we heard. Noises and talkings, like. We've been betrayed.
By whom?
Go, look at the body. You'll find out for yourself.
Interesting. Let's go, Dom. Where is this workshop?
I'll go with you. He must be talking about the old boat repair workshop.
Yeah, they've done nothing wrong.
Apart from killing a cop on our turf.
That's hooey.
Lovely.
How do you know they killed him?
Do you want me to settle it with some lead?
Scurvy dog always threatening us.
Yeah. Say more sea things.
Quieten
Make
these
him walk
lunkheads
the
down
plank.
before I shiv the lot of them.
I'll take care of them. A bunch of liquor sponges aren't going to lay down the law round here.
I'll take a look at this workshop. Join me when you're finished.
All right. Where's the body?
Here we are.
Isn't this my warehouse? No, they dumped the...
If someone had told me that one day West's work would kill him.
All right. Pat is now doing some detective work.
Someone moved the corpse here. Where did the murder happen?
Do you think we're testing currently with our own medicine or with, like, Kat's medicine score?
So this is where West was killed. What's that? What the fuck is that? Where did it come from? He wasn't alone. Who were those guys?
Oh, that's not good. They've upgraded from masks to the real deal.
There's only one man who smokes these gaspers. Fitzroy.
You're not supposed to be here, Truth Seeker.
What's going on outside?
What? Why is this? Why? What? Why?
What's going on outside?
Why is it a shooter now? And why do I have no... Oh. They shouldn't have put shooting in. This system is terrible.
What the hell?
Dom, get out of here.
Go! I'll cover you. Die, you filthy rat!
Damn it.
Okay, good. We're done shooting. Pierce saw Kat's worrying discoveries through her eyes while she was while she was searching for the murderer of a cop. She was attacked by some... While she was searching for the murderer of a cop, she was attacked by some the island inhabitants. Okay. Pierce has yet to find if she did make it.
Pierce, wake up.
What happened?
Take that weapon, you'll need it.
Oh, no.
Hawkins, she... Ah!
What? Tell me.
My head. You're coming into my head.
Bradley, damn it, pull yourself together.
They got me. I can't resist any longer.
Ooh, green eyes.
Whatever they did to you, we will figure it out, so try to calm down.
Okay. Okay.
I'm too eloquent.
We both know that Fuller is behind all this. We're gonna catch him, and he will fix it.
I must tell you about Sarah Hawkins. I was unable to stop her.
What do you mean, unable?
She left with the bookseller. He came back, alone. Told me she couldn't resist the call. The doctors told me later that they saw her going in the direction of the whaling station.
Damn it!
I'm turning, Pierce, into one of those things.
No! Keep fighting it, Bradley.
It's too late. You have to end this. Do it. Kill me.
Enough killing.
Idiot! Ah! Now go, you imbecile.
I will not. You're gonna be fine, Bradley. Yeah, I mean, the music's done, dude. It really, you gotta chill out. Yeah, hey, it's a lot. Oh, okay. You just, it's a lot of snorting, though. Okay. What? Huh? Oh, okay. Let's, see where we're at here. Ooh. Let's get our strength up.
Sarah Hawkins was going to the whaling station. Stop. Oh, God. What am I doing? Oh, damn it.
It's great because you can just click.
What the? Was he like the others?
Uh-oh. Oh, well, whatever. Murder indiscriminately. Maybe you can't just click. Which way's the whaling station?
How many died because of this madness?
Oh, what I could do is just avoid. Well, not anymore. Sorry, dudes. We're Murder Man. Alright. Give a man a gun and everything looks like something to shoot with a gun. Is this the whaling station? No. Fuck is the whaling station? I think that. Do these actually say things, or no, they don't. Okay.
Who's there?
What? That's the most bullshit death.
Sarah Hawkins was going to the whaling station.
Okay, do you think there's a way to get through without killing people? No.
Sarah Hawkins was going to the whaling station. Stop. Oh, God. What am I doing?
Get off! No! Get away! No!
Thank you. How did you manage to get out of your cell?
Officer Bradley came to free me.
Bradley and his sense.
I got it this time.
Where is he?
He stayed at the police station.
Sort of safe scumming. Yeah, definitely safe scumming, but whatever.
Things to do.
Well, I won't judge
I'm
him
cursed
for not
with
wanting
knowledge.
To come into this hell. I see you're out of bullets. Take these. Sullivan.
Oh, I don't think I'm out of bullets.
Thanks.
I don't think I was out of bullets at all, my dude. Hey, did anyone ever tell me which fucking direction the whaling station was?
Enough! You won't have my son.
Yeah. Alright, I think... It really seems like not this way. Yeah, not even save scumming, death scumming. You just look for the whales. Was the bar called the whaling station? No.
What happened here?
Is this the whaling station? Yes.
It looks like an old seaway map.
Oh yes, let's have a reconstruction.
And when they found me, they ate my flesh. And my flesh granted them powers and revelations. You are getting closer, Truth Seeker.
The most precious gift of all. The truth. The ultimate truth about life. If I prove able to resurrect life, then it will only be a matter of time before I know how.
Oh, Dr. Fuller.
It will be
The intersection of occult and science.
ancient and powerful.
Seeker is not your savior. Stop using your powers and never again approach the cult. Oracle or not, they will not get you.
Oh, so Charles actually, I mean, he seems abusive, but like, also, you know, he had the right general idea about the cult. What?
You need a truth seeker. Someone with exceptional sensitivity to his dreams. This gift will lead him to this island. As I am the Oracle, I speak for him we cannot name.
Track the truth like the bloodhound you are.
What has she done?
What am I about to do?
I'm not dying in this rat hole. Come on. If I find him... What are you still doing here, Detective?
I need to go to the whaling station.
It's locked. You'll need a key to get there.
Right.
Go get me a first aid kit. I might have something for you.
Is it a key?
You were chasing Fitzroy, but now you're here, injured.
How do you know? There were too many. Got us. If I don't get something to stop the bleeding, I'm a goner.
Alright, chill out.
I'm coming back with a first aid kit.
Hurry up. I won't last long.
Note from Fitzroy. Attention everyone. I want all the boats removed from the bay immediately. Sailing boats, small boats, everything that floats. No one can escape us now. Their fates are sealed. As the great Lord will rise from the depths, no one can escape his grasp. Soon, my brothers, we will rejoice, because the long-awaited moment is now upon us. Yeah, rubber ducks, I want them out. Anything that floats.
How many died because of this madness?
Thought he was a first aid kit. If I were a first aid kit, where would I be? feel like I'd be in a building. Or like a car. Oh, hold on. Alright, think video gamey.
What happened here?
If I were designing a video game, Cat in this location needed a first aid kit in order to progress the story. Where would I put it? The bar? Yeah, I also initially thought the bar. Okay, so if it's not directly next to her, then I think it must be as far away from her as possible. Or perhaps down on the dock? We'll check the end of the dock here. Okay. Oh, they sunk all the boats. It's a good thing she doesn't need it very quickly, you know?
Who's there? It sees me.
This feels right.
Is that you, Detective? Can't leave the damn island, huh?
I must go to the whaling station.
I'll help you get there if you bring me something to fix this wound.
I'm coming back with a first aid kit.
Make it quick. I'm dying.
What a dilemma.
It looks like St. Brendan's critics finally got him. Probably the cult's work.
Also, I'm lagging pretty horrifically, like, in-game out here. You normal? Nope.
Sorry.
Okay, can't get through there. Okay. Alright. I was going to be very mad if I checked my inventory to find that I had the first aid kit all along. You know, this sequence is making me miss having Algernon constantly saying, like, literally any clue about where to look. Holy shit.
What happened here?
Okay. We've already checked back here, but I've also already checked everywhere else, as far as I know. Okay, I think we have a new winner for least favorite moment in the game. These, like, find the thing sequences have been so diminishing to the vibe and the momentum that the story is trying to build. And maybe after we find it, it will be a case of, like, I'm blind and, like, not paying attention to stuff. That could totally be the case. But I'm just letting you know that it feels bad.
Hey, you! They got the boss. Nasty wound. I wanted to get her the first aid kit in the Hawkins warehouse, but there's one of those poor bastards in it. Too dangerous.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. I don't like that, and I'll tell you why.
One first aid kit. 2 wounded people. Who deserves it?
The attractive woman. I mean, obviously. The criminal. I actually, honestly, don't remember who Roy Mitchell is.
Hope his boss will have more luck.
Who is the other, like, who is Mitchell?
Shit. They're going to the whaling station.
Okay, here's what I don't like about that solution. The warehouse has 2 doors. Right? It has the door in the back that I initially went through. And then right here, this is a sliding door to the same warehouse. And I walked up to this, and you can't open this door. I've been through this door before. Yeah, that guy, yeah. There was a guy who was like, I was gonna get the first aid kit for my boss. Apparently also really could have used a first aid kit.
Go get me a first aid kit. I might have something for you.
Here, take it.
Right. The entrance to the whaling station is behind the Hawkins warehouse.
Leave me alone!
Alright, behind the Hawkins warehouse, huh? Not a problem. Yeah, whatever. Maybe it's just there are so many actors that it had to load for this sequence, but like, boy, my frames are shit right now. Hope it looks at least as bad on stream. Hopefully better.
Enough!
No!
No!
It's so clunky, the targeting. What did I just click? Oh, I swear to God. Oh, I swear to God. Where is this gonna load me? Alright, at least we know where everything is. If it puts me at the beginning of the level, at least we know where everything is.
One first aid kit.
Okay, that's
2 wounded people.
Not bad. See,
Who
this is
deserves
a door. Why can't I open it? Alright, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Shit. They're going to the whaling station. I'd better hide and wait until they're gone.
Alright, they're gone.
Who's...
Oh, it feels even worse now.
Go get me a
Alright.
first aid kit. I might have something for you.
Here, take it.
Right. The entrance to the whaling station is behind the Hawkins warehouse.
Alright. Oof. My frames. I hope once we get out of this level, it's better. Otherwise, that makes me think like memory leak. Rather than just like poorly optimized level. It's a good thing I never have to reload.
Damn it.
I deserve that. I wonder if that's scripted to be like, when you kill this guy right at this moment, you run out of bullets. Or if there's truly like, your gun has a certain number of bullets. There might be a way in over here. There is not. I'm gonna wait for this dude to patrol back. Like that. Well, this isn't good.
Somebody here.
Yeah, I would describe that as non-ideal. Okay. I don't think the answer is over there.
Damn it.
Damn it.
So it must be through here. What the fuck? Okay. Okay.
What's happening?
Any spot hidden? Perchance? No? Pierce crossed the docks, where old acquaintances and new faces met their ends. All over the place. That's a hilarious sentence. Where old acquaintances and new faces met their ends. All over the place, Leviathan's slaves were wandering in search of a victim. After fighting his way through, and after discovering the truth about the origin of the cult and its founders, Pierce finally reached the whaling station. He hopes to catch Sarah Hawkins before she does something bad.
Hither thou shalt be freed. Sarah is with those bastards. I gotta find her quick. This tank seems strong enough to break down the door.
What door? Oh, the big door.
This tank seems strong enough to break down the door.
Okay.
A rope and a hook. Could use that to hold the reservoir back.
Yes, indeed.
Sarah Hawkins was probably taken behind this huge door. Got to find a way to get through.
Alright, we've got oil. Oil.
Locked. Let's hope the key isn't far.
Yes, let's hope. Okay. Well. Maybe I can just attach the rope up here? Yeah, it's a real shame I can't just, like, climb over the door. Pierce is apparently...
Seems strong enough to break down the door.
Yeah, you know, I really thought we might attach the rope over on that other side, but you didn't seem to want to.
Locked.
Ah, okay.
Looks like a page from a log from 1847.
We are starving. The fish seems to have deserted these waters. If I don't quickly find an answer to this crisis, Fitzroy could well set off a mutiny. Each day, more and more men believe in his tales of a miraculous catch. Merciful God help me. We sighted an enormous whale further to the south, the biggest we've ever seen. Fitzroy keeps telling the men that this is the miraculous catch he promised them. We will catch it and bring it home to feed our families.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
These are the last entries of the pastor's wife. Her husband ordered his faithful to come together for a final ceremony in the honor of Leviathan. She fears that the pastor will ask them to sacrifice themselves to this abomination. She tried to escape. This is probably why her body was found in a cave under the mansion. Office key.
Fuller was a crew member too. Interesting.
The morning is biting cold. This creature made us work hard. Half of my crew is dead. I've never seen such a thing. I do not even know how to describe what happened. It's as if the creature was talking inside our heads. Some of my men went crazy and jumped overboard. This thing is not a whale. It's far bigger. I don't even know how to describe it. It practically gutted our ship with these tentacles. I don't know how my harpoon finally pierced the skull of the monster. The crew is in a sorry state. Fuller looks after the injured, but some will not recover.
I'll be lucky if it's still sharp enough.
A rusty knife! But wait, there's more. Where are you?
It mentions the Leviathan, how it drove the sailors mad.
The whole crew has descended into madness. They speak of dreams, visions of a nightmarish city, and of a sleeping god. Madness. I locked myself in my cabin. I won't be able to hold out for long. Fitzroy has 12 men on his side. They've sacrificed everyone who tried to stop them to their new god. I beseech you, Almighty God, to have pity on our souls. This will be my last prayer. I can hear them whispering.
Doesn't work. This should stop the cart from moving. This should help me get the tank swinging.
I'm confused by what I'm
cut
doing.
The rope to release the tank against the door.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you think they know? I have 4 available. That's not enough to upgrade anything. Alright. You know what, real quick, let's get some more oil, just in case.
What is that thing? What is that thing?
Come closer.
Oh, that's Leviathan? Let's read our journal entry! Leviathan. Stellar larva, offspring of the earth. Leviathan is seen, feared, worshipped, and named by men. It is linked by its dreams to the one who sleeps, and will not find rest until its divine progenitor is free. There is no greater predator on earth, and yet, this being that feeds on huge creatures will never directly attack men. It will instill fear, the dreams of and finally madness into the minds of those it chooses to serve its designs. Cursed are those who cross its path, and more cursed still those who hear its voice, because for them, no salvation in death.
No. That voice. You're the Leviathan, Sarah.
Hello. Who is this? The quest for truth requires sacrifice. There's no room for compassion.
Who's there?
That's
Your
my own
stubbornness
voice.
of wanting to help others who would have deserted you is a weakness. Fate leads us inevitably to solitude, and in one's final moments, one is always alone. You can't escape it forever. It will always find its way.
Damn it!
Everything points back to the day they brought in that thing. While the sailors were going insane, Fitzroy and the mutineers took over the ship and probably killed the captain.
Fitzroy he named the beast Leviathan. This thing is not the work of God.
An old log.
We have sailed from the island of... Okay, we have sailed from the island of Darkwater towards the north. Sailors say that these waters are haunted. I don't believe in these tales. It's not a good time for us. My men haven't seen the slightest trace of a whale for quite a while. If this season doesn't improve, they will no longer wish to serve on the Scylla. We are not the only hunters here. While we were looking for a prey, we found dead whales, a dozen of them, drifting, their entrails exposed. They had been shred as if they had been attacked by a huge predator. It's very strange. Perhaps it is a sign from God. Perhaps it is this good catch that we have long hoped for.
Belonging to the captain of the Scylla. The pages I found seem to be the missing ones.
This fascinating creature possesses incredible regeneration capacities. The consumption of some parts of its body provokes various effects on humans, depending on the part ingested. Whenever a part of the creature's body is injured or even completely removed, it immediately starts healing. After a few hours to a few days, it is as if nothing ever happened. The harpoon Hamilton stuck in the beast's brain probably explains why it can't leave. It seems paralyzed. It is still conscious, but it cannot activate its defense systems or even move. I managed to extract the cerebrospinal fluid from its brain, and its properties are amazing! We called it Tabernacle? Maybe in reference to the gods. Ethereal fluid. No, we called it... Fuck is that word? What is the nectar of the gods? What is that called? It's honestly, it also kind of looks like lemonade. Yeah, ambrosia. But that's certainly not the word here. Anyway, I still need to make further experiments, but it appears that when a subject receives an injection containing this fluid, us firstborns can control his mind. I don't know yet why only we firstborn, why we 13 can do it. Probably because of our long exposure to the beast, or our frequent consumption of its flesh, making us part Leviathan? the tentacles are one of the most significant signs that the creature isn't your typical whale. Their utility is still unknown, but it does remind us of our first visions of the god. Consuming the flesh gives a certain form of immortality, or it at least increases lifespan. It does not bring back youth, however. Oh, that's why Fitzroy said it was his dad with the peg leg, but it's him and he regrew his leg. Also, hello, Meow. How's it going? No. Oh, yeah, Fitzroy's leg. Oh, yeah, I'm literally about to read that. Fitzroy's leg grew back in less than a week. Surprisingly, he still limps like an amputee. Psychological? Why? Walking? Oh boy. Waking. Abusive use of the regeneration properties might make the body change. Warning. Warning. Abusive use of the regeneration properties might make the body change, becoming similar to the creatures and less human. The fat, when boiled, makes the oil. It can be used as a typical whale oil. Its best particularity, however, is to allow people to visualize glimpses of the mysterious city and God. We still worship wishes. Best efficient with creative people. Having it consumed while sleeping also increases the effects. Oh, Jesus. That was brutal trying to read that. Holy shit. Leviathan. What do you think happens if I get too close again? I just freak out a bit.
They eat his flesh while he's still alive.
Because it always grows back. Yeah, that's the stuff. Yeah, better put the grate back.
Learn to obey.
Ah, finally awake. How do you feel, Mr. Pierce?
Fuller! Son of a bitch! I'll kill you!
No, I'm not even really with you. Well, to be perfectly precise, I am with you. But not in this cell.
What have you done to me?
Me? Nothing, really. See, it's one of the exquisite effects of this incredible creature.
Leviathan!
I see you already know about it. Well, shall we begin?
I suppose so. Oh. Oh. Well, obviously I wouldn't. Oh! I said no and it's happening anyway.
Let me take a sample from you. Flesh, blood, spinal fluids. Don't fear. I created the mythological ichor from Leviathan's flesh. Who knows what I can make with you?
I killed him.
Unnecessary sacrifice that proves your determination.
What? No. Ichor. Up. Fuck.
Find the truth and be free.
Oh. Lots of doors appear. But that was the only one that was there. Right. So, what does this lever do?
Nothing's happening.
Okay. It's the far one. Fuck! Wait, but where does it go from here? Goes like that. Alright. Oh, I didn't even look at these. Okay, let's walk it back a bit. Shit. Okay, we need to be watching up there. Okay, I see the original one. Oh wait, do I? Yes, it's the one on the far side. I think it's this.
Nothing's happening.
Shit. Oh. Okay. Well, I forget which one it was. It's connected to that pipe. Alright. I actually enjoy this. This was one of the puzzles I actually enjoyed quite a lot. That was cool. Oh, he tricked me into blowing up the whaling station. Yeah, probably shouldn't immediately turn around. Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. Oh my god, I keep thinking I can go under things. But it just wants me to run.
Pierce.
Fitzroy.
Time to hoist the white flag. We're not gonna hurt you.
I won't go without a fight.
You think you're here of your own accord?
Sort of.
Stay back, or I'll put a bullet in your head.
Our supreme oracle has spoken. You will follow your destiny.
What?
In his awakening.
No! Oh, the fucking water with Leviathan.
I see. You cannot escape my awareness. I followed your wanderings, your choices, your attempts to free yourself from destiny. But it is unavoidable. And as I predicted, you have come to free me. Awaken and call him.
Pierce finally met Leviathan in flesh and blood. The monstrous creature submitted him to a series of ordeals, at the end of which he decided that the detective was ready to face his destiny. Pierce blew up the whaling station. After a final confrontation with Leviathan, he passed out. Yeah, Cthulhu voice is scary. It's they honestly, Leviathan's voice is like, I'm pretty sure the best acted one in the game. in my opinion. Let me know what you think. I'm going to take a quick break, grab some more water, and I'll be right back. Already read this. Obviously, Cthulhu's sleeping because he hasn't had his morning cup of joe yet. I'm the truth singer, truth seeker, the bringer of beans.
The voice. I can't hear the voice.
The bean bringer. Yes, Lightning FB, exactly my experience. Sometimes it gets clunky, sometimes it feels bad, but ultimately it is worth it because it's a good story. It's telling it in a fun and engaging way. Is it polished? No. Is it worth it? Yes, absolutely. Am I back at the mansion? Into the spooky cave.
You are trapped. Keep going.
My God.
This way. Stand up. Walk.
I don't even know. I can't tell if I'm controlling it anymore. I don't think that I am.
Is somebody there? Hey, who are you? Where am I?
Okay, I think I'm in control now. I just have to send a quick text. Okay.
The miraculous catch was a trap. Leviathan wanted to be found. To our fallen crew members, they have given their lives for a greater purpose. The last name added is that of Charles Hawkins. This monument is gruesome.
And I'm about to make it worse.
It always comes back to the Scylla. It was where it all began.
That doesn't look good.
It will soon be time, Edward Pierce.
You are dead. None of this is real. I saw you dead, as I see you now. Am I crazy too?
You survived. Don't you understand? You couldn't die. You will stay alive until you've fulfilled your destiny.
No.
Look at me. Look at me, Pierce. Dare tell me that you still don't believe it.
Cthulu.
When I was 8, my little brother fell from the apple tree. He was bleeding. I took care of him. That very day, I decided to become a doctor. I never reneged on my oath. That's what led me to Darkwater. The people here needed me. I died trying to save one of them. Help me give them a second chance. Embrace the power of this sleeping god.
You're out of your mind.
It's not just your life that is at stake. Many men and women have sacrificed themselves for this moment.
Colden!
You will not deprive them of their hope of a better life.
I saw what Leviathan did to Fuller. We will all die like him.
His life was written well before it started. It was not predetermined that he lived to see the call. But you, yes. It is your destiny.
This painting. The investigation. I understand now. Like you.
I think we are plunging headfirst into what some might consider the
All
bad
your
ending.
choices had the sole purpose of preparing you for the final
Bean
decision.
bringer.
I must make a choice.
Not just make a choice. The right choice.
Not yet, but soon. We have one more thing to accomplish.
What is it?
I must take you to Sarah Hawkins, our
Achievement.
Oracle.
Chat with a vision.
Sarah, I feel her calling me. Let us not wait any longer.
Not yet. You have one last thing to accomplish.
No, please. I can't do it.
I feel
Do
like
you understand what it
a game
is?
like this needs to have multiple endings. Like, otherwise it can't keep saying, like, this has affected your destiny, you know?
No.
No one can fight their fate. Neither them, nor you.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do a close-up of lips if you're animating them that way. Yeah, in the end, it all came down to that first sip of whiskey.
Shut up! Silence! Stop! Go away! Stop!
Don't resist, Edward. They're already dead. There's nothing you can do. Just give in.
What happened to me? Sarah. I must go to Sarah. She is the Oracle. She will know what to do.
On we go. I have a feeling this is not the right way. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we want the best bad ending. After a final confrontation, lots of final confrontations, Pierce must go to Alabaster Point, where Sarah Hawkins is supposed to be waiting for him. There he must make decisions that could change the destiny of the world. Interesting. Interesting to suggest changing destiny.
reality as you know it stops here.
None of this makes sense.
Go.
Do it again.
She is
Yeah. That's good shit. That's good shit right there.
What have they done to me?
Come on.
Oh! Ah, Mr. Pierce. I was expecting you.
I killed
Fuller.
you.
You died in front of my eyes.
Don't jump to conclusions. Is there not the tiniest spark of a scientific mind inside of that detective skull of yours?
What abject substance did you use to turn her into an empty shell?
Abject substance. The serum extracted from Leviathan's oil bestows the power of life. To me, my body is nothing but the mortal vessel of my conscience. To you, it contains more answers and secrets than your insignificant mind can grasp.
What? We've got floaty rocks.
Barely stand up, and yet here you are. You never give up.
That is not you. Not anymore. Not since your disappearance on the docks.
Ah, detective. So easy to fool you. So eager to rush to the rescue of a woman in distress.
You won't make me regret having tried to save people. I did what I could. Even for Colden.
Your efforts to change your destiny, although in vain, make you worthy of the fate that is yours. The day has come. You will be asked to choose.
Beam bringer. Beam bringer.
Wait, what the? Oh.
You took everything from me. Wife, life, destiny.
You forsook your right to a normal life. The moment you chose power over humanity. No one wants to see such an unbearable sight.
You don't have the slightest idea of what you speak, of what I've been through. I have sacrificed my life to the one who sleeps. My marriage, my family, my own flesh. Why didn't Sarah choose me? Why is it your damn face on her painting?
Like Call of Cthulu, yeah. Is that okay to say? Oh, is this? Oh, what's wrong with my shoulder? Hold on. Let's investigate behind the interactable object. Oh, I literally can't go back here. Maybe the secret dagger is drawn on my ass. Huh? Oh, there is something back there. Can't get there, though. Alright.
But you already know it. I can see that you will make the right choice.
I don't know. I don't know.
Your fear of the unknown and your stupid pride cloud your judgment. Quit lying to yourself and embrace your destiny. It's not
This is the
cowardice
truth
that brought you those
speaking to me.
measures.
It's truth.
None of this is real. Trust your guts.
If nothing's
Oh,
real,
wait, but that's reality.
what are you?
I am a projection of your mind. What remains of that instinct that pulled you out of the trenches. Don't listen to them. They're too dangerous for your tired mind.
that's some cool shit. It's like celestial tentacles.
It's right there. I'm almost there.
Wait, oh shit. Can't even figure out how to go upstairs, and you want me to choose my fate? Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. People on floating rocks.
Here you are at last, Truth Seeker.
Oh, they have Algernon.
You were waiting for me.
Yes. When I finally discovered the truth, I knew you would come. All this time I was fighting it, afraid of what I might discover, but I was afraid of myself.
It's coming.
What did you learn?
Listen to me, Edward Pierce, as I will deliver the truth.
How possibly am I locked? Oh, probably because I've lost all my sanity. Alright, well.
I have seen things. Strange and horrifying, but always true.
Will you trust my words?
In for a penny.
Yes.
One man only prepared by the trials and revelations, holds the power to change the world. Because I saw you in the dreams I share with my God. I recognize you for what you are, a truth seeker. One of the rare humans who is able to perceive fragments of his mind.
Yes, yes.
I feel the truth in your words.
Because it was written.
Yes.
Or, as I like to see it, painted on the canvas of fate.
Pierce, help me! Silence!
It's the dagger! That goddamn dagger. Yeah, it's more of a sword, really, but you know, who knows? Oh shit! Oh shit!
far. Cthulhu, ye, Wagan, Agal, Thatagan.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so that was the Summon Cthulhu ending. We went ahead and woke him up. Well, and there seems to be a post-credits cutscene. Cultists. Cultists killing each other? What the fuck is happening? Oh shit. Oh, got an achievement. Invoke Cthulhu. Okay, real quick. We have to see. We have to see. That was our ending. That's the one that we chose. But just because, you know, The content exists and it's right there, and we might as well see it. Yeah, I don't understand what was going on with that after credits thing. It was just sort of like, oh, everyone goes nuts and beats the shit out of each other. The ending should just be Cthulhu. All right, but let's see, just for the sake of argument, what if in some alternate reality, not the one that Pierce is now living in, but a different one, what if he had chosen the counter ritual? I know what I picked, but when you do a Cthulhu reveal, like, that's peak Cthulhu. It adds nothing to show the just normal humans beating the shit out of each other.
Here you are at last, truth seeker.
All right, skip,
You were waiting.
skip,
Yes,
skip,
all this
skip,
I was
skip,
a-
skip,
What did
skip,
you-
skip,
Listen.
skip.
I have seen
Skip,
Will you
crazy
do
shit.
this one
Skip,
because
skip,
it
skip,
should-
skip,
I
skip,
feel-
skip, skip.
Pierce, help me!
Yo, that one guy's way out of sync. Bring in the dagger. Alright, here we go. Perform the counter ritual. Oh, that doesn't look good for us. Yeah, that looks real bad for us.
We doubled the dosage, as you asked us to, Doctor.
Good, thank you.
Well, there you have it. We either end the world with Cthulhu Apocalypse Fight Club, or we personally go insane. Yeah, no, yeah. It's a doomed cult. Yeah. There's no ending where, like, Cthulhu rises and then he's like, oh, hey, dude, you summoned me? Yeah. Have a ton of cool shit. No. That's never the story. You know? Anyway, that's Call of Cthulhu. Those are the endings available to us. That was a blast. What an absolute treat. Did it frustrate me at times? Yes. Was it unintentionally funny at times through either stiff animation, weird script writing, just general video game buggy jankiness? Sure, of course. But was it still good anyway? Yes. And how many games are good enough that they can withstand that level of jank? Not many. I had an absolute blast. Yeah, I would be interested to know. I think later I'll look up. Maybe I'll report back in a future stream. Now I kind of want to see, I'm going to obviously go YouTube Call of Cthulhu endings or something like that, just to see what's available. And maybe read a guide to see, like, I'm curious to know, because there were many moments that, like, altered our fate. I'd be curious to know there are 4 endings, apparently. Well, there you go. We've seen half of what the game has to offer. Yeah. I'd be curious to know which of those are important and which of those just make you feel like, what have I done? Because there are clearly... The game does a lot of things well, it just applies them inconsistently. Like, you are correct. There was a point where it offered me a dialogue wheel with one option. And some of you pointed out, like, oh, that's to make you feel like you don't have a choice. Right? Because if it's just in the cutscene, if it's just words he's saying, I'm not forced to consider the fact that I'm not involved. The fact that the game pauses to say, like, here, you can do something, but only this thing, makes you, like, it makes you feel that it is inescapable. But it only does that one time. Despite an entire game talking about an inescapable destiny, it only treats you to that once. There's that one segment in this portion where it was in the insane asylum and we were turning around and shit was happening and it was different every time, every which way I looked, was incredible. And granted, you can't do that to that intensity over and over again or else the effect would wear off. But some of the coolest ideas that the developer had, I was what it felt like was sort of like they'd be making the game, and then someone would be like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if right here this? And then they were all like, yeah, that would be cool. But they didn't, like, apply it to the rest of the game. You know, they didn't look for places to do that elsewhere. They just did it right there, you know? Yeah, there are certainly some things, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you do the full out, like, everywhere you look is different thing more than one time, it cheapens all of them. But they could do, yes, a lighter version, here and there, I think. Or, like, there are like, the shooting mechanic gets used in that one sequence, and it's terrible, and then it's gone. Holding your light up to activate something gets used in twice. That gets used twice. So I guess I can't really complain about that. Yeah, I don't know. The animated paintings were great. Yes. All of the art was really cool. Love the art gallery. Whoever the artist was for this game, like, crushed it. The 2D artist for this game crushed it. Hey, Bebo. How's it going? Good to see you. Yeah. What a blast. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I'm still salty about the Shambler fight. I guess as a writer, the only other big thing that annoyed me was that, like, there were so many, there were a lot of jarring dialogues where, like, Pierce would say a thing, the other person would say a thing that was, like, related to what Pierce said, but not in any way how a human would actually respond to the words that were being spoken. And then, in response to that, no matter what you choose, Pierce is going to say something that also is technically continuing the conversation, but is, again, in no way what anyone would ever actually say as, like, a follow-up to what was just said. Am I gonna... Oh, actually, Bebo, super sorry. I just finished the whole game. We're chilling here at the end, and I'm just talking about my experience. All good. Did the voice actors improvise? Not very much. Oh, also, Elder Cthulhu, praise be. Thank you. Thank you. I called to you, and you have arisen. I really super appreciate it. Thanks so much for the sub. So, based on what I know about voice acting, I think it's likely that, either the script was updated and, like, edited and cleaned up between the time that they wrote the subtitles, and the time that they recorded the voice acting, or there's potential that, when the voice actor's looking at the script, they say, like, hey, I think it would sound more natural if I said this. And then whoever, the recording person is like, yeah, do that. So some stuff happens on the fly, and some stuff, I think is just, like, they update it in one place and not the other. Yeah. What was the Bald Doctor's deal in the end? So, if we perform the counter ritual... Yeah, that's a good question. If we perform the counter ritual, it's very unclear. It seems like either we were actually just insane the whole time, and all of this was in our head, or the weirder option is that we perform the counter ritual and all the Cthulhu people are just sort of like, well, guess let's get back to whatever we were doing before this, yeah? And the doctor just goes back to being a doctor. I think the implications are that you were crazy the whole time. Or a third option, you perform the counter ritual, you've stopped them for now, so they lock you up, they're still immortal, they still have Leviathan, and they just need to find another truth seeker. Yeah, or wipe their memories, who knows? It's very ambiguous. Yeah, the voice actor saying Macabre. That was good. The super inconsistent Boston accents were pretty good. Dark water. Stop them for now. Yeah, that I think is the most Cthulhu ending. Let's see what else to say. And I just want to be clear, I'm not saying that any of the voice actors did a bad job. it's not... I don't think it's really on them. You know, if you get hired to play someone from Boston, presumably whoever was hiring you heard your Boston accent. Like, if that's the role you're going to be doing for a game, presumably that's what they asked you to audition with, you know? Yeah, also, you have no control over what takes they use, or... yeah. Pierce, whoever voiced Pierce, had that great, gritty, private detective, first-person male, spoken protagonist voice. You know, sounded just... could have been the guy from BioShock. It was just disjointed, I think is the best way to describe how all the audio fits together, how all the dialogue fits together. It's super noticeable too, especially in Pierce. It's the guy from Vampire. Oh, okay, that makes sense. All characters almost look the same anyway. So anytime I pick the insane option, where it's all like chthonic text and I say something about like, oh, it is destiny, his voice goes from being like, damn it, oh, I really need to get this done, and then all of a sudden you pick the like insane option and he goes like, yes, it all makes sense now. Everything, it's like just a totally different demeanor to the whole thing, which is fine. It's just that throughout a conversation, you jump from being like, where is she? What's going on? Everything will be totally fine. All right, I'm heading out. And it's just like, okay. Imagine if we had a disco apocalypse detective. Oh, the first choice I made, absolutely. Have to have that kegger with Cthulhu at the end. I really enjoyed that. That was quite fun.